So I'm just waiting for a friend of mine to have lunch with, and I was going through all the things that I'm researching for my new book, and I've just realized that we are the most privileged and the most powerful humans in the history of humankind. Think about the power dynamics when Oprah was Oprah back in the 90s, early 2000s. Whatever Oprah said, immediately there'd be 50, 60, 80 million people switched on because the power dynamics came from the top down. The same thing happened when Larry King was there, or any of those sort of stars or talk show hosts that we used to watch when we were younger. You really used to have that impact from top down. Today, that top down power dynamic has totally changed. And what's happened today is that we have now got a bottom up power. Think about Greta and what she's done with the environment. Think about the gay marriage movement that started off in New York from the bottom up. Think about the anti-plastic process that was never started by a government. It was started by us. And we used our voice with social media now to create this sort of hype around the things that we worried about. So with the new way of communication, we have now got access to billions of people. Because we've got access to so much new information, we now have a new opportunity to awaken the energy in ourselves to be able to create this disruption. Because we're tired of the propaganda coming from the top down, we now have the opportunity to move upwards and to create these sort of momentous movements. I am so proud of what Greta has done. I'm so proud of all the movements that have started from the bottom up. And so my question is what is your intention with your power? How are you utilizing your power? Because ultimately, if you don't understand this power that we have right now, you won't take responsibility for it. And you'll be constantly reactive, not taking the responsibility. Now, if you take the word responsibility, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, it's the ability to respond rather than react. That's responsibility. So now it is by far the most important time in our history to take responsibility, to take on this new power, this new capability, and this new potential we have in order to be able to make an impact on millions of people, if not billions of people. I saw Trevor Noah this morning posted something on Instagram with his whole face on top of Madison Square Garden. I mean, what a guy. You gotta just give it to him. I'm so excited that he's done that. He could not be higher based on him taking the responsibility to finding his magic and spreading it. So look at what I'm doing right now. I'm using the platforms that are available to all of us to spread my brand, my message, my ideas. So my question to you is, what are you doing with this power? How are you making a movement? How are you creating thought leadership and what makes you most curious? How are you taking on the ability to respond rather than react? Ciao.